Hi, this is Craig Horton. Please leave me a message and let me know how I can assist you, or dial 221-6555 for further help.
Record your message at the tone. When you are finished, hang up or press pound for more options.
Hello, good afternoon, Mr. Horton. It's William Montgomery here. You know me. 970-825-4421 or 970-412-5463. Okay, so I've been doing a lot more thinking here. Basically, I have so much paperwork that this is what I've been trying to get together, so you guys can actually have something to work with, even though you really shouldn't. But nevertheless, let's focus on just this issue today. Since you said you would take the call of Giddings being untruthful, yet you still claim that the officers that night had probable cause to issue a citation for being in park. Okay, so the reasonable person theory that you might not really know at this point, I'm a little concerned, is that a person with all of the knowledge of governing law, an objectively reasonable person, say one that knows maps, plats, right-of-ways, or at the very least, city property versus private property, so forth and so on. What I'm trying to say is when you said you would write a citation for me that night, just like Giddings would, that is not what a reasonable person would do. And going through my paperwork, I discovered I did already do this homework for you guys. If you talk to Officer Dean Cunningham, he, as well as his side buddy, kick guy, one night, this is before the fence went up around the new Jefferson Park. This is a couple months after the Occupy Jefferson. Basically, I had called in a couple of pizza box enjoyers that they were eating pizza. It was like a group of people. Basically, half of them were in the park, half of them were on that Linden Street sidewalk. And I called this in, and they took the call. They moved the people out of the park, said they could stay on that sidewalk. And I later called back and confirmed with the dispatch to see what was going on, if they're, because I was told otherwise that's park. And the dispatcher, I believe, I even think 221, was very clear. He said, no, that's city property. He said it in such a way that it almost felt insulting that I was alleging something otherwise. They were pretty adamant about it. And so if those officers that night can get that correct, I don't know if they used a map or not, but they definitely still got it correct. How come Giddings couldn't? And nothing changed between Giddings and them. How come you can't? And nothing's changed between you and them. And so is it a mistake? Is it an accident? Is it not the usual? Is it not the norm for them to go out and do what they did? Or is that the norm? Is that the established norm? Is that what's in your policies, what you're telling people to do? They're supposed to be using maps, plats, whatever it takes to do the job correctly. And so, truthfully speaking, while it may not be applicable anymore, if you maybe can pull up an older patrol map for the time, because it's not Jefferson Park anymore. But nevertheless, if you were to pull it up, there has been a patrol map for Jefferson Park in your system, both fcgov.com, the GIS web, which I think is what your maps are based off of, but also Larimer County maps. These maps have never been incorrect with regards to that sidewalk. Anybody that uses them is going to see that that's city property. That's right-of-way, 100 feet. These maps are not new. These maps are used by other officers. I actually asked Cutter one day if he could show me a map, and he did. He pulled up the map and started showing Gustav Swanson, which, by the way, he pointed to in the park when that was the one I was outside of the park, and we still won. But nevertheless, I know these maps exist. I know that you guys use them, and my internal complaint is I caught you guys not using them, and that's not your job. So it's very simple. Giddings didn't use that map that night. He should have. That's in your policy to use maps, or at least to use all available tools. Are you saying that he used all available tools? Because if you did, then how come Dean Cunningham didn't screw that up? So, if you can, I just need some sort of straight answer, so I could take it to everyone else. So far, you're telling me that any officer of the law is going to mistakenly use a map from the Parks Department and incorrectly ticket someone in the right-of-way. If you say that, I'm ready to take that to every single other cop on the planet. And truthfully speaking, to finish this up, This is what I also need. I need a copy of that map.
You are approaching the maximum length for a recording. Finish your recording after the tone.
Real quick, I need an actual example of that map of Jefferson Park because I'm an attorney, a pro se, and this is my discovery process. So can you go ahead and send me an email of that actually? I really do that anyways for my cases. Thank you very much. Map, Jefferson Park, or at least what it used to be, or what your Maverick
Reach the maximum length
says.
for a recording. To send this message, press pound or hang up. To mark it urgent, 1. To play it, 3. To